Come on, come on, come on, come on. So today we're going to be working on cab corners. Right there. Not in very good shape. I've already got the other side taken off, and so I'll show you how to take these off. It's not very difficult. One of the first things you need to do before hacking away at this is deciding how far up on the side you really need to go. As you can see, it looks like the rust is up to there and up to there, but it's already rusted, it's already jumped. Go ahead and take your screwdriver or something with a point, something halfway sharp. Start tapping around and see how high up it really goes. That seems to be about as high up as it goes, although the paint's bubbling just a little bit right there. And there was a little bit of rust. So with this one, I need to pop this back plastic piece of stuff off. It looks like you probably could go right along in here, avoiding these body lines that already line up with the rest of the truck. But the thing you have to worry about is when you go to weld in the new piece, you don't want to distort this body line at all, or you're going to be kind of fucked. So I may go ahead and cut it up above here. I'm not 100% sure. So as you can see on the flare side, you've got these plastic protective covers, I guess you would call them, and they're pretty much they're taped on like with double-sided tape for the most part. And then there's a couple, get them off here. There is a couple like Christmas tree connectors, right? Oh, there's one right there, and then I think that one down there is one. Or no, that one right there is one. So those need to pop out. Like so. Stubborn little booger. There's some rust behind that plastic piece that runs up into here. Whether that's surface rust or if it goes deeper, I'm not sure. I'm going to sand this down real quick and see what I'm dealing with. And for this, I've just got a 36 grit sanding disc on here, so I'm going to grind this down real quick and see what's going on. Okay, well, as you can see here, that was a little rusty crusty and ended up going all the way through. But it looks like it's good right above that. There's also little spot welds that you can see a lot better now. So I'm probably going to go ahead and cut it right above this body line, maybe an inch, inch and a half, and come on around and probably angle it off down towards the bottom here, something like that. Or I may just go straight across. I'm not sure what's back up behind here. It's not really going to make much difference. If I go either straight across here like that, or if I come across here and angle it down. So I may just go straight across and be good with it that way. One thing I'm going to show you before I even get started on this, and I'll have to take you around to the other side. Inside these cab corners, or behind them, whatever you want to call it, I don't know who in their infinite wisdom thought it'd be a good idea to fill that cavity full of foam. And all this stuff does is collect moisture in there, and that's why your cab corners rot out. Stupid. So I'm going to be removing all of that, but that's what's back behind there. And then along the bottom, up underneath there, are some spot welds, and that's where the air chisel comes in handy. So to mark off where you're going to cut, I'll just get some blue, any kind of tape. You could just scribe a mark, or even use a permanent marker or something and go along here and mark it. The problem is when you, I don't have my cutoff wheel over here, but when you go and cut that off, it makes a little bit of metal dust, paint dust, metal dust, and it'll cover up your line. You won't be able to see it very good. So just take some tape and put it along where you want to cut. And I'm gonna cut right now, tape width and just a smidge more above the body line. You have to remember with the cab corner that you're going to be putting in here, you have to make it match this, you know, your line. So you want it to be pretty straight or you're going to be fighting it for quite a while trying to get it to fit properly. So the straighter and more even you can make it, the better. And then make sure you wear your safety glasses. Hook up your cutoff tool. And I do it so I go right along the top of that paint or that tape line. The thing I hate about these glasses are they fog up. I went ahead and I covered up the fuel neck and the gas tank and everything with a piece of cardboard that I had laying around. There's going to be some sparks flying and I just don't feel like going boom. So you take your cutoff tool and just start cutting this sucker right along that top of the line. I don't think it makes any difference where you start. Get it in there, let it sink in just a little bit, and then start moving it back and forth so you start making a groove. I like to go real light right along the top of it. Get a little groove in there for the tool to follow, and then you can work it back and forth pretty good. Cut the line all the way across, down the side, so on and so forth. Right here, back behind this, is a piece of metal that the cab corner must be spot welded to. I just can't remember, but you have to be a little careful getting that off. So I'm going to go ahead and bust all these spot welds out of here. One relatively easy way to do that is take your sanding disc and sand all the paint off of it, and those spot welds will light right up because they're indented just a little bit and they have paint in it. So there's one there, and down here, yeah, down there. And then there's a whole bunch along the bottom. Some people would drill those out, and maybe that is the best way to do it, I don't know. I chisel them off and then take your sanding disc and just smooth it all out. So I'm going to keep working on that until I get them off. And this is where an air chisel might come in handy because it takes those spot welds right off. And then you've got up here in the front where the cab corner comes around. And if you can see that seam right there where the tip of my chisel is, and it comes down along here. And that's got some spot welds in it as well. And if you can get back behind it, I'm not sure how good you can see this, you can just slowly pop that out of there. So just keep doing that all the way down. I see there's one down there and one down there. This rust here, I did it on the other side. I'll try to remember to show you. You can sand all that down, and I'm spraying it with Ospo. Then I'm going to put some paint on and just go over the top of it. Not going to concern myself with replacing this part right now. I mean, I probably should, but I'm not going to. So at this point, I've got the cab corner pretty much off at this. I got all those spot welds out up front. These back here, I think I got them all busted loose. And it's all disconnected from the upper part here. Now down along the bottom, there's more spot welds every so often down along here. The easiest way to get those off is take your ear chisel and just slide it along. Just go. Get it started and then just go along the bottom like that, and you can just peel them apart pretty easy. Especially since they're probably going to have some corrosion in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can't really set my camera up very good to do it, plus it's going to be rather loud. So I'm going to go ahead and just fully remove this now. So I finally got this crusty old cab corner off. And there's the inside of it. And as you can see, right along where all that foam was on the bottom of it, that's where it's rusted. Up here it's not rusted, in fact it's almost oily up here. But down here where all that damn foam was, it's just a crusty, rusty piece of shit. I'm gonna get rid of all this foam. You can see where it was rubbing on the side of the fender. Just junk. I mean, this stuff it holds water. In fact, it almost feels damp inside of it. It's just I don't know who the genius is that thought that would be a good idea. I imagine it does cut down on noise, road noise or whatever, but I'd rather have a little bit of noise and no rust. I got to get to cleaning all this out. Then we'll be cutting the cab corners to fit and then tacking them in place. So that'll be the next thing I'm going to show how to do. So that's kind of the gist on how you take off a cab corner. It's not rocket science, you cut it out. You go above where the rust was and you just cut it out. It can be a little intimidating the first time to be cutting into your vehicle. I know the first time I did it, it was a really strange feeling to be taking something and hacking up my truck with it. But once you do it, it's not a big deal. Like I've said before, it's already messed up. I mean, it's already screwed up. You're not gonna hurt it any more than it already is. Unless you go cutting way up in here and make it all funky or something. But even that could be fixed. So now I've got to get all this crap out of here and get this all cleaned up. And then in my next video, I'll be trimming the new cab corners to fit into place, welding them in, and after that, be applying body filler, smoothing it all out, and then we'll continue on into getting this ready for paint. So it was a pretty quick video on removing the cab corners. The next one will be a little more in detail on how to put the new cab corners in. I hope this was a little bit helpful. The mailbox has been set up, that I mentioned that again. It's in the description down below if you want to send stuff to the channel. Give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, comment down below, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.